today we're gonna learn to make flour tortillas with butter. So we add the butter in the flour, and we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt. And now we're gonna mix the butter with the flour and the salt and try to really incorporate it until it becomes like a consistency of sand, and you will see right now it's like a sandy. And once you have that consistency, you will add some water, and it's important that the water is hot but not boiling hot where you burn your fingers. So we will add water a little bit at a time, and then keep mixing around the dough, and we'll keep adding a little bit more water. I think we need a little more water. We will need about a cup of water, but sometimes it's better to add a little bit at a time. So now I can feel that I have enough water in my dough, and I'm just gonna start kneading my dough thoroughly. And kneading is very important because that's what is gonna give a good consistency. My dough right now it's breaking, but that means I have to keep kneading a little bit more. And it's important that you kind of work the dough until it has like Play-Doh consistency. And if you're in a warm place, that kind of helps to give it a better consistency. So now my dough, it's the consistency I desire, and I am gonna make some little balls. I put them on the palm of my hand, and with my thumbs I will just keep forming the little balls of the dough until they look a little bit like this, and I put them in a bowl. So I keep, here's one more time, you put it on your palms and you just use the other hand for support, and you keep just putting it into the center until you have a nice rounded little bowl. There you go. So now I'm done doing the dough, and I'm gonna cover it with a little wet rag, and once it's covered I'll let it sit for around 15 minutes. So now I have let it sit for 15 minutes, and I'm gonna take one piece of the dough, and I like to spread some flour, but it's really important that you use enough flour. So we just put it like this with flour, and I sprinkle a little bit of flour on the counter, and I use a rolling pin, and remember to keep turning it, so back and forward, and then turning the tortilla, and that way you'll get a round and nice tortilla. Yeah, so there you go. You keep rolling the pin, and we want to also have like a thin tortilla, because if it's too thick it's not gonna be so nice to eat. So you see this is too thick, so I still have to roll it a little bit more. Now if you are in a warm country, it will be easier for you to roll your tortilla. Now I'm in a cold place, so it's not so warm here, so I'm having a little bit of trouble too, because the butter has gotten a little bit hard, but it's still gonna taste really delicious. So now I got my tortilla, and you can see it's nice and thin, and now it's time to cook the tortillas in a hot pan. I will say medium high, and once it starts bubbling, you will see bubbles coming up on the tortilla. Then it's time to turn it around. So now you can start seeing the bubbles, and we're gonna turn it around. You can see, if I flip a little bit of the tortilla, how it's nice and brown. So you can see here, there you go. So I think it's good. So I'm gonna flip the tortilla, and it's so beautiful. It's gonna be so yummy. Look at this, perfect. It's nice and fluffy. I mean, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be full of air, but that means that we did a good job kneading the dough when you see a tortilla that is nice and puffy with air. And this air will eventually come down and you'll have a nice and soft tortilla. So this is the final product, and I hope you enjoy, and please like and comment below.